Alright, to start off with, go out on the internet, of course, and go to www.astropixelprocessor.com, and the opening screen will pop up here. And one of the first things you need to do is come down here to the banner on the bottom and click Close and Accept. And at that point, you can go to your free 30-day trial and download it. And he gives a video on how to download, which I'll let you do on your own. There's no reason here for me to jump into that. However, once you're there, you can pull the same data that I'm going to be using by going to Video Tutorials. And under Video Tutorials, of course, you can go through all these from Mabula as well as Sarah Wager, I think is how you pronounce it. And you can go to the Fully Automatic Multi-Channel Processing and Astro Pixel Processor by Mabula. If you click on that, it will be a 1-hour demonstration on how to come up with this image. And from here you can download the bias, the darks, the flats, and the light frames, as well as see the results from the tutorial. Now, all of this data has been provided by Diego Colanello, which if you have not checked him out, be sure to look up at his stuff on Astro. He also has his own website at www.diegocolanello.net. And Diego, I'm hopefully pronouncing your last name correctly. If not, please correct me. And also too, he was on Image of the Week for the Astro Imaging channel, so you can check that out as well and click on that. But this is the data that we're going to be using, which is 100 bias for all the channels, 20 darks, 20 flats for blue, 20 flats for green, 9 flats for red. Now, if you do notice that this is not including luminance channel, which is fine. Really, you're not going to lose anything on that. It's still going to be the same. So once you've downloaded Astro Pixel Processor, go ahead and click on it. Let it open up. Once it opens up, this is the first thing you're going to see. It's going to ask you to please select your working directory. All this means is it wants someplace to store files and to pull things back up again. So you can just go to your desktop if you've already created a file with all your data, your lights, your darks, your biases, and your flats. You can just choose that. I've pre-set up the APP tutorial folder here, which is the downloads from Diego, which is the biases, the darks, the flats, and the lights. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go right back to that particular folder. And now we're set up and ready to go. Now if you come up here to the top, a couple of quick things you can look at. One, if you click on this, is your license information. Once that pops up, there it is. It'll give your name, whether or not you've purchased it or not, and your license code. So if you purchase this, you will get a license code that'll be emailed to you. And when you go to activate this is where you would put your license information in order to get it up and running. On your CFG, this is where you're going to be setting up the maximum use of gigs on this is going to be 14. However, if you have a slow computer, you can also lower it. It'll take more time for it to process, but this is how much memory you're going to dedicate to the program. So I'm going to leave mine up on 14. I am going to enable the tooltips. So this is when you go to hover over a setting, it'll tell you what the setting is for. I'm going to leave a click for enable console output. And I'm going to leave click for the enable sound on process completion. And basically you get a real loud ding when everything is said and done. Some of the other information that you're going to see up here is APP. This is how much processing, the percentage of processing that is being taken up by APP, and then the amount of processing that is being taken up by your operating system. This is the RAM that has been approved for the program and the operating side as well. As you come down here, if you click on this is what popped up in the very beginning, and that is to select your working directory, which we've already done, so we're going to leave that as is. Now there are a couple of things that's going to be different with this specific tutorial. If you are shooting one-shot color, there's not a lot that's going to change on this. The only difference is being if you're shooting a one-shot color or DSLR, you're going to start on tab 0, which is a raw fits file. This is to set your bare CFA, your pattern. You can click on supported and see if it will register. I have seen that on my QHY it does not. Supposedly though, it supports only DSLR images, and it should be able to figure out what the default setting is on it, which in this case it says it will assume that the default setting for your DSLR is going to be RGGB. However, for my QHY, I have to pre-select these, which I believe mine is actually BGGR. So if you select that, you also want to leave your algorithm set as is. Go ahead and select your Force Bayer CFA, and you can select your camera white balance. At these, I would leave your sliders set at 1, and that's how you're going to load for one-shot color. Next, we're going to go to tab 1, which is going to be load.